Part 83. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 821. The words were so emotional that a layer of frost formed on Fu Nanli's face. They heard that you focus on your studies and are usually busy. They are afraid of disturbing you, so they are all eager to wait until you are a senior. Our seniors have relaxed their homework. The front alliance who admires Wen Qiao plans to wait for you until your senior year. If I confess my love to you again, just wait. When the time comes, each day will be different, and the confession will last for at least more than a month. It feels so spectacular. Wen Qiao wanted to cover Lu Yuyu's mouth, but it was a pity that Lu Yuyu was not around. The 1-minute speech was finally finished. Fu Nanli played with her soft fingers. There have been different confessions for more than a month. Wen Qiao, how many love rivals have you attracted for me? Wen Qiao, I really have no idea. So, when the two got out of the car, Qin Bei could clearly see that there was a tooth mark on Xiao Wen's neck. Well, these two bit each other and luckily the fender was raised. Wen Qiao reached out and touched his neck. You really bite. Fu Nanli's face was gloomy. I didn't use any force. He felt a little distressed. Does it hurt? Wen Qiao, what do you think? The elevator stopped and Fu Nanli pulled her into the room. She was pressed on the sofa. His bony hands held her chin, causing her to tilt her head slightly. She had a white swan neck, slender and beautiful, with a trace of ruiyu. There are seemingly no teeth marks. He blew gently. I heard that so many people have a crush on you. I couldn't hold it back for a while. I won't bite you again. Wen Qiao lazily leaned on the sofa. Except for taking classes and practicing piano, I am almost not at school at other times. I don't know many people in the school, let alone those from Fukai and Hixi. I don't know much about it, know how they know me. Fu Nanli's eyes were wandering deeply on her face. His Qiao was wearing a cheongsam, sitting on the stage holding a pipa, gently strumming the strings, and when the lights fell, he would fall, and those male college students would naturally be more likely to be obsessed. She always lacks awareness of her own charm. Beautiful without knowing it. Like you means you are excellent. Of course, he would not hide his girlfriend and not allow her to perform on stage just because she is too good. Jealousy is jealousy. But watching her shine and shine on his favorite stage makes him feel proud. Oh, by the way, my brother-in-law took the self-study college exam some time ago. There were a total of 13 subjects, and he got full marks in 11 subjects. Fu Nanli's eyelids twitched. What? Very powerful. Wen Qiao, isn't it amazing? He just read the book once. Before that, he only had a primary school diploma. A primary school student, after reading the book once, can get full marks in 11 subjects. Isn't this amazing? The next second, she was picked up and walked upstairs. Do you know how your boyfriend's college scores were? Wen Qiao, I'm not sure. You didn't say it. I got perfect scores in all subjects on the Saturday. Why didn't you say I'm great? Young Master Fu is so depressed that he can't stop being jealous, and he will get involved in anyone's jealousy. Wen Qiao was helpless. You never said it, how can I praise you? Now that I've said it? It's full of implications. Wen Qiao, you are so awesome. You are my role model and a role model for me to learn from. We each work hard and we will meet at the highest level. A rare rainbow fart that soothes the heart. After entering the room, Fu Nanli raised his feet and closed the door. A soft bang covered Wen Qiao's voice. In April, it rained heavily, and Wen Qiao received the notification of being shortlisted for the Lily Award. She was also shortlisted for Lin Xiang, Lu Yuyu, Song Yu, Zhuang Yan, and Zhao Tong. 3 for folk music and 3 for Western music. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 822. Lu Yu immediately burst into laughter. I was also selected, I really didn't expect it. Chun Xiao cried, I spent too much time in my hanfu shop. I have to practice hard starting this year. The one who also failed was Su Lu. If you don't practice the piano for a day, the audience will notice it. No matter how busy Wen Qiao was, she would take out her pipa and play with the strings every day, and there would never be a moment when her original intention expanded and relaxed. Su Lu, on the other hand, entered the entertainment industry and was fascinated by the colorful world. Her ambitions and desires were growing day by day. How could she calm down and play the piano? Her piano talent is not top-notch and she cannot be a world-class pianist. This kind of industry has no meaning once it cannot be at the top. At least in Su Lu's eyes, it was meaningless. People whose abilities are not worthy of their ambition are miserable. She was sitting next to the small flower bed behind the school library drinking beer. Zhao Tong came over and sat down next to her. Su Lu felt irritated. Even Zhao Tong was selected. She knew better than anyone what Zhao Tong's previous level was. This really made her lose face. What are you here for? I thought we had broken off our relationship. Zhao Tong frowned. I want to ask, do you still want to stick to your music dream? If you still want to stick to it, you should quit the entertainment industry temporarily. Su Lu's eyes suddenly turned red. You just stand and talk without back pain. Zhao Tong felt aggrieved. Why do I just stand and talk without pain in my back? Why do you say that to me? You, Lu Yu, and Zhuang Yan, your families all have money. You can do things according to your own interests and hobbies without any worries. Even if it doesn't succeed, there is still a way out. What about me? Who supports me? Wen Jianmin? Wen Jianmin is now I only want to have a good relationship with his biological daughter. Zhao Tong, you don't understand, I have no way out. I am acting in the entertainment industry. Even if I am an 18th tier actor, at least I still have money. Zhao Tong argued rationally, can't playing piano bring you money? Su Lu, you entered Yanjian University with an A grade. There are only 2 S-level students in the whole school. You will be next in line after entering the university. Those who can rank 3rd, even last year, you were still 3rd, look at how quickly you fell behind. Are you here to teach me a lesson? If you have a choice, do you think I don't want to do what I like? Do you think I don't like playing the piano? I have no choice but to do it. Zhao Tong lowered his hands and said softly, where is anyone forcing you? Lulu, ask yourself, where is anyone forcing you? When did you choose step by step, was it not your initiative? Su Lu burst into tears, didn't Wen Qiao force me? She doesn't like Zhuang Yan, but she hangs on Zhuang Yan. I want to prove that I'm no worse than her. I want Zhuang Yan to regret it. Zhao Tong, why are you now? You can't always understand me. Why? Zhao Tong was helpless. I think your competition is meaningless. Don't you think that Wen Qiao is not competing with you at all? You have lost yourself in this competition alone, Lulu. I kindly advise you to give up and stop competing with Wen Qiao. It really doesn't make any sense if you continue like this. Su Lu lowered her eyes and said nothing. Many things, once started, there is no room to look back. How could she stop? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 823. Ambition is growing densely, and she can't compare with Wen Qiao even if she keeps chasing him. Once she stops, how far will she be left behind by Wen Qiao? Zhuang Yan or others will definitely say it in their hearts when the time comes. Su Lu is indeed not as good as Wen Qiao. When she thought about others comparing her to Wen Qiao in their hearts, she didn't dare to stop, she couldn't stop. She can be defeated by anyone, but that person cannot be Wen Qiao. Her pride and self-esteem did not allow her to lose so completely. Zhao Tong patted her shoulder. Lulu, when did you figure it out? Let's perform on the stage together again. Sulu tilted her head. No, if you want to integrate into their group, then go ahead and don't worry about my feelings. Zhao Tong stood up, looked at Sulu with happy eyes, and shook his head gently. If you continue to be so stubborn, you will eventually. Zhao Tong, Sulu raised her head and looked at her, her eyes red. Can you leave? Leave me alone for a while. Zhao Tong didn't say anything more, put his hands in his pockets, left the quiet little flower bed, walked alone on the path, and sighed softly. In fact, she really wanted to join Wen Qiao's group. Suddenly one day, she discovered that she had been ignorant and naive before, and attacked Wen Qiao for no apparent reason. Looking back, she found that Wen Qiao was not as unbearable as she thought at all. She had made many contributions to folk music, and during this period there was a time when folk music overtook Western music, or maybe it was through hard work that I succeeded. She led their folk music club step by step and achieved great results steadily. Envious. There was even some admiration. But she never joined Wen Qiao and the others because she was still worried about Sulu's feelings. I hope Sulu can figure it out one day. Wen Qiao participated in the Lily Award ranking competition, passed all the tests, and entered the top 8. Like her, it was Zhuang Yan who was invincible. When Fu Nanli heard this name, he really had a headache. Will this boy accompany Wen Qiao throughout his schooling? Lu Yuyu and Zhao Tong both finished in the top 20. Lu Yuyu ranked 21st and Zhao Tong ranked 22nd. When they got their names, the two had another fight. Zhao Tong thought that one of the reasons why she had not joined Wen Qiao's club was because she was concerned about Sulu's feelings, and the other reason was that she could never quarrel with Lu Yuyu. The finals were held at the Turandot Concert Hall. Wen Qiao's family came, and Fu Nanli naturally came too. When she got to the backstage of the concert hall, she saw her brother-in-law arranging her hair. The lights were soft and the picture was warm. In the corner, a boy in a suit and tie was looking at her in concentration. He also knew that boy, it was Zhuang Yan. Fu Nanli's head hurt a little. He didn't know that what would give him an even bigger headache was yet to come. He walked up to Wen Qiao, quietly blocking Zhuang Yan's sight, and put one hand on her waist. Is it more appropriate for a boyfriend to do things like arranging her hair rather than an uncle, right? Su Ce felt the strong possessiveness from Fu Nanli. He can't even take care of his niece? Very beautiful. Her hair is meticulously arranged, her pearl earrings are swaying gently, and her cheongsam made of cherry blossom pink satin reflects a shallow halo under the warm light, making her dazzlingly beautiful. When Qiao touched the earrings, I'm going to get my ears pierced in 2 days. I use ear clips every time, which makes my earlobes hurt. I received a lot of monthly tickets yesterday. Thank you very much for your support. I love you so much. Grab 2 cuties and get 500 book coins. Qing Wu Fei Yang, Angela bye bye. Join the group 712200469 to find Qing Ge to claim the prize. We will continue to give out book coins next week. Just vote monthly. I love you all. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 824. Fu Nanli saw that her earlobes were a little red, and when she muttered these words, Yanli looked a little more cute. Zhuang Yan, who was not far away, lowered his eyes and sighed softly. Lu Yuyu walked up to him and patted his shoulder like a brother. I think it's pretty good to have the current situation of peaceful coexistence. Yes, what do you think? Zhuang Yan forced a smile. Yes. You Stop focusing on Jiao all the time and look at other people. People who are always nostalgic for the past cannot be happy. He heard that there were girls in school chasing Zhuang Yan, but he ignored them, just like he did to Wen Qiao. Isn't this a vicious cycle? Although he was very bad at the beginning, he later repented and made amends to a certain extent. Qiao had already let go. Therefore, Lu Yuyu still hoped that Zhuang Yan could let go of Qiao and find his own happiness again. Zhuang Yan forced a smile. You are quite worried. When Dong Yao came in, he had the same worries as Mr. Fu and pulled Lu Yuyu away. After Zhuang Yan finished his performance, there was a brief silence. Only then did Fu Nanli realize that he had so many love rivals. The people sitting around him seemed to be male students from the university town, each one more excited than the other, talking in low voices with suppressed excitement. Wen Qiao is so beautiful. Last time I went to Bauhinia Hall for lunch, I happened to bump into her. She was so close. She was even more beautiful in person than in the photos and videos. She had no makeup, her face was very small, and her skin was very white. Eyes were so bright, I almost fainted on the spot. The boy who said this was immediately pinned down on his seat by several other boys and gave him a lesson. I told you that no one is allowed to disturb Wen Qiao. The canteen where she often eats is the Bauhinia Hall. Who asked you to go? Who asked you to go? Fu Nanli turned around and saw that the boys were all staring at the beaten boy. The boy felt aggrieved. I went to play football at Yanjian's football field, and by the way I went to the Bauhinia Hall. What? You went to Yanjian to play football? There are 2 football fields in the reopening, and they are not enough for you to play football? You kid actually dares to violate the rules. I don't dare anymore, and I won't dare again in the future. Follow the rules, do you hear me? When Wen Qiao reaches senior year, the competition will be fair. One of the boys wearing myopic glasses whispered, I heard that Wen Qiao has a boyfriend. Oh, I've heard about it too, but I also heard that her boyfriend is a bit older. I heard he's already 30. The 30-year-old young master was silently hit by an arrow in his heart. 30 is really a bit old. He is 9 years older than Wen Qiao, so he is not a good match. Sooner or later the scorer will be there. Definitely. We just sit back and wait for them to break up. Fu Chuan, who was sitting next to him, couldn't listen anymore and looked back at the boys. The performance is about to begin. Can everyone be quiet for a moment? The boys became even more excited. Wen Qiao is about to go on stage. Don't make any noise, don't make any noise. This is not a concert, this is a regular competition. If we make a noise with her, it will affect her performance and also affect the judges and teachers' perception of her. Fu Nanli reached out and pressed his temples. Wen Qiao is ready on the stage. The piece she plays today is the piece Spring Rain for the 9th level of the General PIPA examination. Light powers. Her retro makeup made all the viewers attracted to her in an instant. Fu Nanli's eyes were focused, as if everything no longer existed except for him and his Qiao. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 825. It was as if his Qiao song Spring Rain was played for him alone. The first section of the Pipa solo piece Spring Rain uses a relaxed and pleasant melody as the musical motive. It uses range changes, filler performances, off-key and other methods to present the freshness, smoothness, and beauty of the music melody, immersing the listener in the beautiful green fields of Jiangnan. It sounds good. A rustling sound of admiration came from behind Fu Nanli. Shut up, listen carefully, and don't disturb her, another boy's voice said. Then comes the second section, which seems like the drizzle suddenly becomes heavier, and people's emotions can't help but be aroused. Her fingering skills were as flexible as a snake, and her emotions were full of energy. Everyone present was attracted to her. Zhuang Yan, who was standing on the side of the stage, was a little dumbfounded. Wen Qiao surprised people every time. The expressiveness of the third section of music is the climax of the first pipa performance. The theme of the music is like the sea, accompanied by the double-string melody of the thumb, making the music more soulful. This song Spring Rain is almost as difficult to play as House of Flying Daggers and Overlord Disarm. When the song ended, the concert hall fell silent. It was the judges in the first row who came to their senses first and started applauding. Fu Nanli leaned back on his chair, gently clasped his hands and clapped. Wen Qiao stood up and glanced at Fu Nanli, who was sitting in the third row. She smiled, then gently touched the pipa, put it aside, and then bowed. Thunderous applause erupted in the concert hall. The boys behind Fu Nanli almost hugged each other and cried, "Goddess, no one can stop me, I want to give flowers to my goddess. I want to offer it too. I'm sorry, but you're all ordering flowers behind my back. I just bought one and kept it secretly in my pocket." "Me too. I also." "Traitors, you are all traitors." Fu Chuan came closer and whispered, "Your flowers are ready. Qin Bei is waiting backstage holding the flowers." Fu Nanli covered his lips with his index finger, "Don't talk, the judges are reviewing." Fu Chuan raised his eyebrows. "Some people may seem calm and steady on the surface, but they are already upset inside, right? I have never seen the young master be so nervous before. It is just an ordinary music competition." Wen Qiao exited the stage and passed by Zhuang Yan. Zhuang Yan smiled at her, "Congratulations." Wen Qiao paused and said, "What do you congratulate me on? You deserve to win the championship." Wen Qiao smiled, "You also played the brilliant waltz very well." The lights of the stage embraced her tenderly. Zhuang Yan looked a little lost. He and she were side by side at the highest point. He had an inexplicable emotion in his heart. This emotion seemed to transcend the love between men and women and was due to his appreciation for Wen Qiao. And admiration. While they were complimenting each other on the side of the stage, Sulu could only watch the live broadcast on her mobile phone at her residence. Of course she won't go to the scene. Wen Qiao entered the top 8 and might win third or second place. She couldn't accept Wen Qiao's shining appearance on the stage. After a long wait, the results came out on the spot, and the audience quietly waited for the judges' scores. These judges are professors and deans of major music conservatories, as well as top musicians in the field of folk music and Western music. Half an hour later, the staff arranged for the top 8 contestants to come on stage. Among the top 8, there are 3 from Yanjian: Wen Qiao, Zhuang Yan, Lin Xiang. It shows that top music schools are truly outstanding. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 826. Lin Xiang whispered, "Wen Qiao, are you nervous?" Wen Qiao shrugged, "I'm not nervous, how about you?" Lin Xiang smiled, "I'm not nervous either." Students from several other conservatories were so nervous that their legs were trembling, thinking to themselves that Yang Yin is indeed a Yang Yin, with superb skills and a strong psychological quality. Mr. Bach, the internationally renowned conductor, came on stage with a handcard. This well-known French musician spoke fluent Chinese. He came on stage with a lime and let everyone know beforehand, all the students present are very talented. Do you want to know who the champion is? There was an earth-shattering thinking underneath. Mr. Bach smiled and looked down at the card, then let's announce the third place winner first. Fu Nanli clicked his tongue lightly. The third runner-up is Lin Xiang from the Central Conservatory of Music. Lin Xiang was stunned for a moment, then reached out and hugged Wen Qiao. "I was joking with you just now, but actually I'm a little nervous. Wen Xiao, I'm not joking with you. I'm really not nervous. The faces of several students on the side all fell. There was originally hope of competing for the third place. The strength of Zhuang Yan and Wen Xiao was obvious at a glance. Now the third place has been taken by Yang Yin. They just run with me. The runner-up winner will be announced next. Su Lu, in front of the mobile phone screen, secretly said, Wen Xiao, Wen Xiao. Of course she knew that Wen Xiao played very well today, and she recognized the runner-up, but she must not be the champion. I still remember that Wen Xiao challenged her and said that she would definitely win the Lily Award Champion Award before her. Why can Wen Xiao have everything going smoothly? The runner-up winner is Zhuang Yan. Zhuang Yan also hugged Wen Xiao immediately. Fu Nanli in the audience's eyes darkened. It was enough for him to be upset when a girl hugged her, but Zhuang Yan actually hugged her too. You deserve the prize if you win, why do you have to hug Wen Xiao? Zhou. It's not Wen Xiao who is giving you awards. Several boys behind him were also grinding their teeth. Why does Zhuang Yan hug Wen Xiao? Zhuang Yan on the stage just hugged Wen Xiao gently, then turned around and picked up his own trophy. Lin Xiang's only words of thanks were thank you. Zhuang Yan's thank you speech included a few more words, thank you everyone. Audience below. Is it possible to win an award by speaking less? Learned. Su Lu immediately exited the live broadcast page, her fingers trembling a little. Although she didn't have to watch the end, she could guess who the championship winner would be. She deceived herself and chose not to continue reading, as if Wen Xiao would not win the highest prize of the Lily Award. Finally, who is the winner of the Lily Award's highest prize, who do you think it will be? At the bottom is Ying Tianxiang's Wen Xiao. Mr. Bach smiled, you are very discerning, the champion, Wen Xiao. Lin Xiang hugged Wen Xiao again and patted her back gently, well deserved, well deserved. Zhuang Yan stood aside and looked at her with a smile. The 5 people who accompanied the team were heartbroken. The top 3 were rounded up by Yang Yin. Yang Yin was really strong. Lin Xiang let go of Wen Xiao. Wen Xiao turned around and shook hands with Mr. Bach. The silver-haired Mr. Bach looked at her with a friendly smile, congratulations, you played well. There will be an anniversary at the Royal Concertgebouw in Amsterdam next month. Can Mr. Wen be honored to perform at the celebration concert? Wen Xiao tilted his head and smiled, it's an honor. She walked to Li Mai and looked around at her family and her boyfriend Fu Nanli in the front row of the concert hall. Thousands of words finally turned into one sentence, thank you to everyone who supports me. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 827. There are too many people to thank. If you count their names one by one, you will eventually miss some. It is better to just say thank you. Applause came from all directions. Wen Xiao looked at the heavy golden trophy in his hand and finally smiled. Fu Nanli felt the flashlights coming one after another behind him, and the group of Wen Xiao's admirers were frantically taking photos. The veins on his forehead throbbed violently, and he stretched out his hand to tug on his tie. When the show finally ended, Fu Nanli stood up and walked backstage under the escort of bodyguards. Qin Bei held a bouquet of yellow roses decorated with gypsophila in his hand. Fu Nanli took it and went backstage. Wen Xiao sat in front of the dressing mirror and took off her earrings. The earlobes were so red that they were bleeding after holding them in place for so long. As soon as she took off the ear clip, a hand stretched out and felt warm. She looked up and saw that it was Fu Nanli, gently twisting her earlobe. The flowers were put aside, and the man's deep voice sounded gentle in the noisy background, does it hurt? Wen Xiao took off the other ear clip and rubbed it, a little. He gently massaged her earlobes. Lu Yuyu said excitedly, wow, just such a simple action makes me feel so full of sexual tension. Dong Yao took her hand and walked out, Isn't your boyfriend's sexual tension low? Lu Yuyu scratched the door frame and whispered, in public, you are at the top of the list. Can you be careful about your influence? Dong Yao directly dragged the person out, it's all been made public anyway, what should I pay attention to? What happened to be meeting us in the corridor were several female fans of Dong Yao. They were extremely excited and asked for a group photo. Dong Yao said coldly, sorry, no group photo. Lu Yuyu was about to burst into tears, can you be more friendly? They are your fans. Dong Yao, I've always been like this. Several female fans said from behind, yes, yes, he has always been like this. Don't quarrel with Dong Yao. He is very good like this. He doesn't pretend. We all like him very much. Lu Yuyu was speechless and looked coldly at the fans, who even spoke for him. Dong Yao is probably the only one who can be so capricious at the top. How envious the other top leaders are of him. Backstage, the boys who had planned to give flowers swarmed at the entrance to the stage and saw a man pinching Wen Qiao's earlobes. The two behaved very intimately. Her boyfriend, right? Seems to be. He seems pretty handsome. No matter how handsome he is, what can he do? He's not young anymore and will be kicked by Wen Qiao sooner or later. Can we still go up and lay flowers? Why not? We appreciate art. A group of 5 or 6 boys, each with a red rose, lined up to give flowers to Wen Qiao. The boy, who was originally quite arrogant, suddenly became intimidated when he saw Fu Nanli's gloomy face. He threw the flowers on Wen Qiao's dressing table and ran away immediately. Following closely behind were Wen Qiao's family members. Su Si rubbed Wen Qiao's head, Ah Qiao performed very well. My uncle is proud of you. Su Si did it on purpose. Why did his niece want to look at Master Fu's eyes? He just wanted to rub his head. What could he do to him? Young Master Fu can't do anything to him, but he can do anything to his niece. Wenmo's mother and Uncle Ji all congratulated her. Wen Qiao handed the trophy to Wen Mo, give it to your sister. Wenmo's eyes sparkled, and he fondled his sister's trophy fondly, admiring her even more. Wen Qi hooked his neck and said, let me touch him too. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 828. Wen Mo, don't you think it's nothing? Wen Qi covered Wenmo's mouth, you kid, when did I say this? Su Yun touched Wen Qiao's head, Qiao really looked like a big star on the stage today. Everyone thought you performed very well. Wen Qiao smiled, Mr. Bach, the judge just now, said that there will be a royal anniversary celebration concert in Amsterdam next month, and I may have to go there to perform next week. Okay, do you want me to accompany you? No, I'll go by myself. Su Yun smiled and said, okay, it's over here, let's go home. Wen Qiao stood up, but someone grabbed her wrist. Fu Nanli looked at her casually and suggestively, but Wen Qiao actually understood. She hoped she would stay with him tonight. Mom, I still have some things at Nanli's place. After saying this, can Su Yun still not understand? Okay, you go to Nanli's side first. I'll celebrate your success at home tomorrow night. You have to come back tomorrow, you know. I know. In April, the weather was warm. Wen Qiao wore a long knitted sweater outside her cheongsam. Fu Nanli led him out of the Turandot concert hall. In front of the group of male college students who had a crush on Wen Qiao, Fu Nanli they hugged each other and got into the car together. The male college students looked at the tens of millions of luxury cars and could only secretly smash their fists against the wall. Being rich is awesome. After getting in the car, Fu Nanli reached out and pulled out the hairpin from Wen Qiao's hair, causing his hair to fall down and spread over his shoulders. He brushed her hair and exposed her ears. Does it still hurt? It doesn't hurt much anymore. The man leaned over and kissed her, and the resentment of the concert hall tonight poured out on her lips. There were even more people smashing the wall outside. The luxury car slowly left the concert hall, and the partition rose. Fu Nanli concentrated on kissing the person in his arms, and then let go after a long while. Wen Qiao, what are you doing? I saw today that your support team is very strong and has a large number of people. Wen Qiao, are you talking about the boys who came backstage to deliver flowers just now? I don't know any of them, they don't even look familiar to them. Fu Nanli caressed her face, you don't know me, but they all like you. Wen Qiao shrugged. It seemed that she could not control whether others liked her or not. She leaned in his arms, resting her head on his arm, and looked at him with a smile. So what does Mr. Fu want your girlfriend to do? Fu Nanli lowered his eyes. What did he want her to do? His Qiao has done a good enough job, just be jealous and just sulk on your own. No need to do anything. Wen Qiao was a little surprised. Huh. The man's rough thumb pinched her face. You don't need to do anything, just be yourself. Qiao shines on the stage, that's fine. Wen Qiao leaned over and kissed him on the corner of his lips. They lingered all the way downstairs to the apartment. The next day Wen Qiao went to get his ears pierced. At a store outside a nearby old street, there were occasional vehicles passing by outside. On a rainy day, the rainwater brought up the ground. The new green of the sycamore trees was reflected in the puddles. Wen Qiao saw the hands of the shop owner. The earring gun I held in my hand felt a bit novel. The young lady said to Fu Nanli, press her head and chin, and don't let her move while I make the hole. Wen Qiao, I'm not afraid of pain, so there's no need. With the ruthless cooperation of Fu Nanli and the young lady, Wen Qiao was slapped twice on both ears. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 829. Fortunately, it really didn't hurt much, but Fu Nanli looked distressed. Wen Qiao. It's not like that, it's really not like that, master. You need to disinfect it well, otherwise infection will easily occur. Go to the drugstore to buy some medical alcohol, pierce the ear needle into the ear hole, and remove it after a week. Then you can start wearing earrings and a golden tool. Over time, there will be no infection. Wen Qiao nodded, thank you. After leaving the shop, Fu Nanli looked at her red earlobes and said in a deep voice, go buy gold earrings. Wen Qiao, I have them at home. My mother has a pair of gold earrings. That's your mother? Fu Nanli took her to Fu's shopping mall. There were all kinds of stars holding the moon. Wen Qiao held her forehead, and she walked around as if she was here to discuss a merger and acquisition deal. The battle was too big, and she couldn't go shopping with Fu Nanli in the future. Because Wen Qiao still had ear needles inserted into her ears, Fu Nanli could only pick up the earrings and compare them with her ears. Wen Qiao originally thought that wearing gold earrings would be fashionable, but unexpectedly, the picture in the mirror looked pretty good. The counter sister knew that she was the eldest young master's girlfriend, so naturally she was full of compliments. Ms. Wen has fair skin, black hair, and red lips. She looks good in anything she wears. She wears gold earrings and looks like a rich and charming young lady. She is very beautiful. Fu Nanli's eyes wandered over the row of gold earrings. Wrap these up. Wen Qiao grabbed his wrist. One pair is enough. Just a pair of the simplest small hoop earrings is enough, why pack so much? The young master's face said he was rich and willful. You can change the styles. These styles are simple and elegant, and can be worn on many occasions. The counter sister quickly and respectfully wrapped up the earrings. Wen Qiao felt a little heavy while carrying the delicate handbag. After leaving the mall, the two got into the car. Fu Nanli planned to take her home. After all, she won the gold medal yesterday and her mother held a celebration party for her. He couldn't keep occupying her. When passing by a French restaurant, the light happened to be red, and Wen Qiao saw at a glance that the person sitting in the clinic was Lu Wenzhou. Hey, it's Lu Wenzhou. Fu Nanli squinted his eyes slightly and took a look. It was indeed Lu Wenzhou. Huh? The person sitting opposite him seems to be a teacher in our school, teacher Su Yingxiu, who teaches piano in Western music. It was Lu Wenzhou's friend who introduced her. She doesn't need to be outstanding in appearance, just gentle and intellectual. Su Ying was indeed not outstanding in appearance, with a gentle and delicate appearance. If she took one more look at Lu Wenzhou, red would appear on her cheeks. Gentle and shy. With completely different looks and personalities from Zhou Tao, Lu Wenzhou patiently listened to her talking about music, from Chopin to Liszt. He wasn't interested in any of this. His fingers tapped on the table all the time, and he occasionally glanced at the woman opposite him with a serious expression. The green light turned on outside, and Fu Nanli's car slowly moved away. Wen Qiao didn't see her artist Zhou Tao push open the door and enter this Western restaurant. There was no drama for Zhou Tao today. Several plastic flower sisters from Kyoto came to play with her. She didn't want to accept the invitation, so she was pulled out. One of them, Zhao Yunyan, had learned about Zhou Tao and Lu Wenzhou's marriage by chance. The three of them followed the waiter to the second floor. Zhou Tao immediately saw Lu Wenzhou sitting by the window and thought to herself, when will the bad relationship between her and Lu Wenzhou be broken? God, this is really interesting. When she was devoted to that man, she could only see him a handful of times a year. Now that she was divorced, she could bump into him wherever she went. I have received a lot of monthly votes in the past 2 days. I am really grateful to everyone. I have no way to repay you, so I can only repay everyone with my cruel Louis R. Louis R. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 830. Sitting opposite him was a woman, wearing a luxurious suit, with gentle brown curly hair draped over her shoulders. The hand holding the mixing spoon was slightly tilted. It was obvious that she was a shy and gentle girl. Zhou Tao lowered his head and smiled, as if every time he met Lu Wenzhou, he had a different female companion by his side. That's fine, get divorced and let him go free. She wanted to turn around and leave, but was grabbed by Zhao Yunyan. She said in a moderate voice, "Isn't that Mr. Lu?" Then she whispered in Zhou Tao's ear, "Your husband." The eyes of another girl, Qin Yun, were somewhat meaningful. After all, they are plastic flower sisters. Zhao Yunyan has already explained Zhou Tao's secrets clearly to the little sisters in the circle. Those people are secretly laughing at Zhou Tao for marrying into the Lu family, but Mr. Lu ignores her at all. Zhou Tao raised her eyes slightly, wondering what the two girls were saying about her in private. How could she not know? She didn't want to come. It was as if these two had tied her here because they just wanted to hear the gossip in the entertainment industry. Therefore, she would not be friendly with such a person, and naturally she would not talk about her divorce from Lu Wenzhou. He is probably talking about the company. It's better not to disturb him. Let's go downstairs. Zhao Yunyan grabbed Zhou Tao's wrist and led her towards Lu Wenzhou. Zhou Tao was dragged all the way to Lu Wenzhou's side. There was a faint shadow covering his hand, and he looked up, frowning slightly. "Hi, Mr. Lu. We came to have dinner with Zhou Tao, and we happened to run into you. You two are husband and wife after all. You are really destined." Su Ying's fingertips trembled, her face turned pale, and she whispered, "Mr. Lu, are you married?" With this expression, Zhou Tao knew clearly that she was probably on a blind date. She smiled. Lu Wenzo must have been waiting for the day of divorce for a long time. Not long after the divorce, he couldn't wait to start the blind date. The girl is quite nice, she is pretty and fair, with gentle eyebrows. Sitting next to him, she is a perfect match. Lu Wenzo didn't say anything. He often heard from Lu Xiang about the intrigues among the elite circles in Kyoto. He also heard a lot about the backstabbing by the superficial sisters. Talking about the divorce in front of her friends might make her unable to stand in the circle of friends. Get a foothold. But Zhou Tao said calmly, Mr. Lu was married to me before, but we are divorced now. You don't have to worry about this young lady. Lu Wenzo's eyes darkened for a while. She said it so simply and neatly, just like she did in front of her grandfather, without hesitation and impatiently, so calmly that it made him wonder, did Zhou Tao really like him? The wonderful expressions of Zhao Yunyan and Qin Yun fell into Lu Wenzo's eyes, making him even more angry. She didn't care anymore and didn't mind how others criticized her. Su Ying's expression softened. A man like Lu Wenzo, even if he was divorced, was still a top-notch diamond man. She really didn't mind. Zhao Yunyan covered her mouth in disbelief. She originally thought that although Mr. Lu was married to Zhou Tao, he was still involved with another woman, which would make Zhou Tao lose face. Unexpectedly, they got divorced. What kind of shocking giant melon is this? She couldn't wait to send a message immediately to tell her little sisters that Mr. Lu was single again. Those who want to marry the Lu family should quickly use their family connections. Grandpas, uncles, and anyone who can have some connections with the Lu family should quickly marry him. A man like Lu Wenzo can be single for a few days, but he may be married in a few days. Other women got there first.